Do I know what the school's fears are? Do I know what the school prioritizes between grades or experiences or all these other things that schools, value, right? And every school's a little different. Like, have I taken the time to really, not just generally understand, but have I taken the time to master that? Because then and only then can I put myself in a position to not make assumptions. Turning dreams into reality. Hey, what is up? How you doing? My name is Joseph Ngugi. I'm a physical therapist. I'm also one of the co-founders of Pre-PT Grind, where we help students get into physical therapy school without wasting time or money. So if you want to be a physical therapist, then this is the right page to be on. And in this training, I want to talk about avoiding the number one mistake that we have seen just cost a lot of students their acceptance. And just their career, because sometimes if they don't figure this one thing out, they end up quitting. And one thing that we constantly say is the only way you don't get to your dream career, which for most of the students that listen to us on this page or any of our other platforms, is if you quit, right? So if you decide, you know what, this isn't gonna work out, I'm gonna pull the plug, that's the only way you basically won't get into your dream career if physical therapy is it. So let's talk about the number one mistake that costs many students their acceptance. And if you do want to become a physical therapist, just be aware of it. And if you avoid it, then you'll be in a much better position just overall. So let's just dive into it. So this is, out of all the students that we have, obviously worked with, and we've said this in previous videos, we've said, we've had students that have had extremely low GPAs in the low twos, right? 2.4s, 2.3s, 2.6, 2.5. We've had students that have been rejected from a lot of schools, 15, 20 plus schools, and had to make a shift and ultimately change some things that helped them ultimately get into PT school. And many of those students that I just mentioned, at least the ones that I was thinking about as I was giving some of those examples, are either in PT school today or they are physical therapists, right? So they made it to the other side of what you want, which is to become a PT. So there is one thing that we just see happening over and over, though, that just leads to a lot of these same patterns of getting rejected and things not going as planned. And it's this one word, and the one word is making assumptions. Assumptions is the word that I wanted to point out. So this is easily one of the biggest mistakes you can make as a student. And you might be doing it. We're gonna dive into it. You might be making assumptions and it might hurt you more than you think. All right, so let's dive into it. Making assumptions, what does that even look like? So listen to the language that you use when you talk about the application process. So whenever I hear students saying things like, I think I'm gonna be a good enough applicant for that program. I think my grades are gonna be good enough. I think my GRE score is going to be okay. I think my experiences are going to stand out. Anytime I hear I think, then that means that there is an assumption being made. Basically, I'm assuming that certain things are either good, and sometimes I can assume that things are not good. I can say, I think I'm not good enough as an applicant. I think my GRE scores won't be good enough. Y'all, you have to be very careful of this. And this is easily the worst mistake that we see students make is assumptions. And what that leads to is basically unpleasant surprises. So that's in the form of students that tell us, you know what, I applied, I thought I was ready to go, but I got a lot of quick rejection letters, which means that there were certain red flags that those schools found. And now the student was like, I don't know what I missed. And so let's talk about what this actually looks like. And if you can shift how you look at your application process, if you can shift how you look at your pre-PT journey, if you can avoid assumptions, then you are going to be setting yourself up for success. And so here's a little quote that I want you to kind of remember. Feel free to write this down. Feel free to comment it below here on YouTube. But it's this: disappointment as a pre-PT, right? So disappointment comes when our assumptions become our expectations, right? So just think about everything you think you know about applying to PT school, everything you think you know about the schools you're applying to, everything you think you know about what you need to do as a student. Ask yourself, like do I have concrete like proof or evidence or like something that's just like factual that I can lean on, right? Or am I just assuming? Am I listening to what my classmates said? Am I just following what I'm seeing on threads? Am I just kind of hoping that things work out? Because if you're doing that, then it's not the best way to apply. And that's honestly how you set yourself up for disappointment. So I'll say it one more time. Disappointment comes when our assumptions become our expectations. So I'm assuming that I'm a good fit for a program because of blank. I'm expecting that I will be accepted to this school and that school. And the reasons why are because, well, it's a local school. So I expect that I'll be good enough. I've worked hard. And y'all, we have to be a lot more objective about this. And this is why students set themselves up. And what happens is this. When we have this cycle of making assumptions and then just trusting those and having them become our expectations, then we basically get let down enough times. And for a lot of students, they think, well, this must mean that I was never meant to be a PT. This must mean that I'll never be good enough. When in reality, all you need to shift is this. Like, you have to stop making assumptions. And one of the first things you need to do in order to stop making assumptions, one of the first things you need to do is say, okay, do I actually understand how this whole application process works as a whole? Do I understand what my target schools are actually looking for? Like, do I understand like what's going on in their mind? Am I seeing my application journey through their perspective? Do I know what the school's fears are? Do I know what the school prioritizes between grades or experiences or all these other things that schools, value, right? And every school's a little different. Like, have I taken the time to really, really not just generally understand, but have I taken the time to master that? Because then and only then can I put myself in a position to not make assumptions, right? That's how you can figure things out. Like, wait a minute, this one school that I thought I was a good applicant for, I might actually not be a great applicant for, right? That's how you figure out, wait, I thought I was actually ready to apply this cycle, and there's certain things I need to adjust before I actually am ready to apply. So you know what? Maybe it makes more sense for me to apply next year. Or it can happen the other way around. We had a student in our coaching program who last year basically made the assumption that she was not going to be ready to apply that cycle. So this is last year in 2021, right? So she was like, you know what? I'm planning on applying in 2022 because I don't think I will be ready to apply in 2021. Now, when we asked a few more questions, she had just joined our coaching program. So we asked a few more questions and we realized that a lot of that was just an assumption. Like, she just felt like she wasn't going to be good enough. And when we were able to kind of peel back the layers and get objective about it, we were like, wait, no. Like, you can apply this year. and if you do all of these things correctly, like, you can set yourself up to have a really, really, really good application cycle. And she did that, and she got into PT school a year earlier than she had planned, right? So this works both ways. But I'm telling you right now, one of the biggest mistakes that costs a lot of students their acceptance letter, their dream, and so much more is making assumptions. So ask yourself, are you making assumptions? Or is every decision that you make, every move that you make right now as a student, is it concrete? Like is it backed by understanding what the school wants, understanding the overarching process of applying to PT school, understanding the ins and outs, understanding your blind spots, like having someone show you what your blind spots are? And if it's grounded in all of those things, then you're in a really good position. And I can tell you right now, most students haven't even done that, right? But if you're not grounded in those things, you have to ask yourself, am I even giving myself a really good shot? Like, am I sabotaging my ability to be at my best as an applicant? And that's the game. If you can shift that, I'm telling you right now, you will catapult yourself forward and you will be one major step closer to your dream of becoming a physical therapist. I hope that made a lot of sense. And if this was helpful, please share this out. Share this with other pre-PT friends that you might have. Anyone that you know that would value this conversation right here, send them to it, send them this link. Also be sure to like and subscribe. And also, if you're like, you know what, I want help with this. I don't know where to begin. I'm stuck. I need guidance, then do this. Text our phone number and either myself or my business partner will respond to you. So text this number. It's 813-437 9467. And I want you to text one word. One word. And once you text that one word, we will take care of you from there, or at least our team will be able to take care of you from there. And the word is guide. Say, text us the word guide to 813-437-9467, and we will take care of you. We will help you know what your next steps are. We will basically help you build a rejection-proof application so that you can get into your dream school and so much more. So I hope that was helpful. Have an amazing rest of your day. Like I said, if you enjoyed this, be sure to share it out with your friends, and also be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next training. Bye.